guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry.
All of you chumps are gonna bow. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Money.
You're listening to The Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB. If you'd like to contact Mr. Credit, visit mrcredit.org.
All right, welcome to a very special edition of The Real Estate Debate right here on AM 760 KFMB. Mr. Credit here, your host, and judging today's debate for the first time on the show, Amanda Silber is here from Movement Mortgage. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, this isn't your first time on the radio.
No, it's not.
So you're a pro. But it's your first time to judging the debate, which could be challenging. You're aware of the feud that's been going on among some of the contestants today, right?
Absolutely.
So today we have our two most winningest champions in real estate debate history competing against each other. We also have another real estate debate veteran in the studio as well. So I expect the sparks to be flying today. Do you feel any pressure, Amanda, as the judge?
Not going to lie, a little bit of pressure. I'm going to try to be fair, keep it cool. Just, make sure it's even across all lines.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Not too even, though.
Wishful thinking from Mr. Devore. So, Amanda, before we introduce our contestants today, let's do a little mortgage minute here. Now, you're with Movement Mortgage. Loansbyamanda.com is your website. One of the things that you want to talk about today, which I think is actually a very important topic, is the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. Can you explain that?
Yes, absolutely. So what I usually explain to my clients when they come meet me in my office is the difference is really important. A lot of people don't really understand what the difference is. So a pre-qualification might be you step inside an office with a loan officer. They might ask you some questions. Maybe you bring in some tax returns, maybe some pay stubs, and they give you a general estimate of what they think that you can qualify for. The problem with that is that a loan officer is not an underwriter. The loan officer is not the person who's going to approve your loan. Yes, they might be educated and they might be able to give you a very good idea. However, it's not approved until it goes in front of them, the underwriter. So what we do at Movement Mortgage is we actually make sure that we underwrite and approve all of our loans before they go out and start searching. The important thing with that is we look at tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs, everything that the underwriter is going to ask for later on. We just make sure we get it out of the way up front. As far as the agents are concerned, that gives them a great advantage when writing offers. We can close in 20 days or less. And it gives you guys, the borrower peace of mind essentially to know that they're 100% approved for that loan. All they have to do is wait for the condo approval and appraisal.
So no gotchas basically coming down the road?
Not necessarily. If I submit a loan for approval and I get those conditions back, the first thing I do is I look at the condition sheet. If anything in there seems like a red flag to me or something that could change the approval later, we just make sure we clear them up front. Other than that, there's really no catch to it. We don't charge for it up front or anything like that. So
okay, and that's ideal, obviously, if you're shopping for homes, which a lot of people are doing right now.
Absolutely.
So people can find out more about you by going to loansbyamanda.com. That's your website. Mm-hmm. Or they could call you. What's your phone number for someone to reach you?
619-756-3852.
Okay, great stuff. Are you ready to have the guests introduced?
I'm so ready.
All right, let's get this party started. First, in seat number 1, Elizabeth Story is here from StoryEstates.com. She's won the real estate debate 4 times, including 1 victory over Mr. Devore. She's second all-time in championships, only to Mr. Devore. Elizabeth, how do you feel today about the rubber match between you and Mr. Bryan?
Hey, I feel real good, and the only reason I haven't won more times is because I haven't been on more times. So let's make it number 5 for today.
All right. I like it. She's oozing with confidence, as she has been. There's been a social media, a little Facebook conversation spat going on with you guys for the last 30 days. I'm glad to see that it's finally coming. We're going to get to some resolution here today. And who knows, Robert Cromer might actually win, who's in seat number 2 from CromerHomes.com and McMillan Realty. Robert, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well.
Okay, it's great to have you here. Now, how do you feel about the fact that everything about the show has been about Bryan and Elizabeth and their feud and all this stuff? Have they overlooked you? Is that going to cause them problems today?
I'm hoping so, but I think I actually was set in the middle to kind of keep them from going at it too much here. So I'm hoping
you figured that out, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want them kicking each other and stuff,
I'm hoping that I'll have an opportunity to take home the trophy today.
That would be awesome. If you did, it would be totally epic. Good luck to you today, Mr. Cromer.
Thank you.
That's Robert Cromer, McMillan Realty, and CromerHomes.com. Of course, the aforementioned Mr. Devore, Bryan Devore, is here. He is the champion of all champions from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties, and thedevores.com. 6-time winner on the real estate debate, which is the most by anyone ever on the show. Looking for number 7 today, Mr. Devore. How do you feel?
I feel confident, grateful, as always, that I'm here. I do have to point out a little bit of kudos to Elizabeth. She does have a higher winning percentage than I do, but I do have the most trophies.
All right, he's starting off humble. Let's get this thing kicked off with rapid fire.
Let's go around the table for rapid fire.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
Keep it short and keep it on point.
1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
All right, Elizabeth Story, you're up first. Today's rapid fire topic is a little bit of a venting exercise. Contestants, please fill in the blank to this statement. I hate it when home buyers blank. Elizabeth.
Wait too long to go see a property and someone else buys it the day before you go.
Yep, happens all the time, especially in this crazy, crazy market. Robert Cromer, I hate it when home buyers blank.
Love a house, but lowball an offer.
A very, very good point to make. Mr. Devore, I hate it when home buyers blank.
Schedule to go look at 10 homes and don't get a babysitter for their kids, because half the time we're not able to focus on what we need to focus on, which is this the right house for them?
Yeah, that's true. It's a really important decision. You do need to be focused on what's going on there, and a lot of things can get distracting. Removing distractions is really important. That's a really, really good point, Brian. Back to Elizabeth's story. I hate it when home buyers blank.
See a property they love, sleep on it too long, and somebody else writes an offer and buys it the day before they write it.
Theme going with her. Has something happened recently? Do you need to talk about?
You said it was a venting exercise, right?
Mr. Cromer, I hate it when home buyers blank.
Probably the most important is they pick a bad lender. And obviously here, Amanda with Movement Mortgage, you can tell her she's qualified. She makes sure that the clients are qualified before they even go out. So working with a bad lender is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, or like a non-local person, phone, that can be a real mess. Mr. Devore, I hate it when home buyers blank.
I like how Robert's scoring points with Amanda, by the way.
It was a very good point he made.
Might have.
Yeah, I know. I hate it when home buyers, a married couple, they don't agree with each other on what they're looking for. And that is tough. That is hard, because one person says this is important to me. The other person says this is important to me. So I'm not just a realtor, but I'm a marriage counselor sometimes.
Yeah, and then, you try to give them something in the middle, and neither one of them's happy. Elizabeth's story, I hate it when home buyers blank.
Are unrealistic in their price versus their taste. You cannot buy champagne on a beer budget.
That is so true. Around here, you see it all the time. We were just talking about a couple of the markets that are more affordable. That's where you should be looking if you want the big house on the cheap budget. Mr. Cromer, I hate it when home buyers blank.
I think I've touched on this before, but I hate it when they can't see the diamond in the rough. They'd rather spend $40,000 and more for something that would cost them $10,000 to make those kind of improvements. So.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And what he's saying is homes that aren't perfect right now, that you can make perfect with less money than it costs you to buy it perfect, is what he's trying to say. Bryan Devore, I hate it when home buyers blank.
Are not honest with me. I look at myself sometimes like a doctor. You're not going to lie to your doctor about your physical condition. Don't lie to me about what it is that's important to you, because then I can't help you. So you got to be honest with me so I can help.
Got to be honest. Very good point. All right, last round. Elizabeth's story. I hate it when home buyers blank.
They give me parameters that they don't follow themselves, and so it makes it really hard for me to find them the property because they're lying to me about what they're looking for, and then they're looking for something different online.
Robert Cromer, I hate it when home buyers blank.
When they use your information to give that information to another agent that isn't as experienced, or maybe it's their friend, their cousin, and they may be a lazy agent that won't go out and show them properties, or they've got another job, who knows.
Agent abuse.
Yeah.
It happens. There's no question. See it all the time. Hear about it all the time. It's terrible. It's super, super lame, by the way. If you've done that, you're lame. Plain and simple. Bryan Devore, I hate it when home buyers blank.
Don't do what they need to do during the escrow process, including providing the loan documents that they need to the lender so we can close on time.
Yep. Once you get an escrow, it's time to go. That means whenever someone asks for something, you get it to them. You get it to them quickly. All right. Coming up, it'll be time for Agree or Disagree. Sparks will fly right here on the Real Estate Debate. We'll continue to make you smarter than everyone else. It's all guaranteed. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, listening to the Real Estate Debate. Our judge today is Amanda Silber with Movement Mortgage and loansbyamanda.com. Amanda, how do scores look one segment into this debate?
We've got Robert in the lead. He kind of schmoozed me up a little bit by mentioning us and Movement Mortgage, so sorry
Well
guys.
done, Robert.
We've got Bryan right behind him with 5 points and Elizabeth with 3. There was just a couple of things that you said that were very similar to someone else had said.
How many points does Robert have?
6.
6. So Robert has 6, Bryan has 5, Elizabeth has 3. No flags have been thrown, so we'll see what happens as we go to agree or disagree.
Time now for agree or disagree.
Can't we just settle this over a pint?
Agree
Yes! Yes!
or disagree.
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
Let's get it on!
All right, we'll be starting with Robert Cromer from McMillan Realty and CromerHomes.com. Robert, all the contestants today will tell us whether they agree or disagree with the given statement and then defend their position. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac recently announced that all mortgage loan servicers must offer modifications to borrowers in certain default-worthy circumstances. Now, each contestant was given a copy of this article ahead of time to be able to read. So today's statement is this, quote, "The government should stop these types of bailouts and let the chips fall where they may. Otherwise, they are setting a precedent that could really burn the real estate market nationally in the future." Mr. Cromer, what do you say? Agree or disagree?
Well, I'm going to disagree with that statement.
Okay.
And I think that I might be in the minority here.
Okay.
But the reason I disagree with it is because of, for one thing, is there was a 511,000 loan modifications that happened through HAMP, and that happened in 2010. Those are going to basically expire in 2015. So there's going to be these people that their rates could jump up significantly. So when that happens, that's going to affect these people that we're going to have a lot more defaults.
Right.
And I think the main reason I disagree with this statement is I understand that people are trying to protect the real estate market and not have other people pay for someone else's mistakes. But I was there. So I've been there. I had a house basically foreclosed. And the reason was, unfortunately, it was just horrible timing. I opened a real estate company in 2006. My wife and I in 2005 were on CNN Money for Tycoon in the Making.
I saw that.
So we were really being aggressive in home purchases, and we were young. So I admit it, and I never been through that kind of downturn in the market like that, especially when I was in real estate. So we ended up losing our house. And so I understand and I can sympathize with these people that are in those bad situations. And I'd hate for it to be a bait and switch where someone gives them a loan modification from the very beginning, and then 5 years later, they're taking it away from them. I think they need to give them reasonable rates so they can keep their houses and we don't flood the market again with more defaults.
So you think if they can make their payment, modify something for them, let them stick with it?
Yes.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Mr. Devore, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? The government should stop these types of bailouts and let the chips fall where they may. Otherwise, they're setting a precedent that could really burn the real estate market in the future.
So, Robert, good news. You're not in the minority. Maybe Elizabeth will be. I disagree with the statement, but let me kind of backtrack a little bit. First of all, the precedent was already set with the HAMP program. You know, 5 years ago they started these modifications. I understand the point. It's sort of like the John Smith invisible hand of the economy where, you know, let the chips fall where they may, let the market forces figure things out. And I understand that, but I think we have to look at what is the overall effect that these types of bailouts, as you say, would be on the market. First of all, it's only limited to Treasury's HAMP program participants. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily, it's not all loan modifications. So if Bank of America did a loan modification for someone and it's not part of that program, it wouldn't be part of it. Number two.
Do you think that's fair, though?
That's not part of the debate. Do I think what's fair?
That, you know, some people who've got modifications will be able to get new modifications and other people won't.
Traditionally, what the government does, so does the private market. So my guess is B of A, Chase, Wells Fargo, they'll do similar things. But actually that comes up in just in a minute, okay. My point. Mark McCardle, who's the Chief Home Ownership Preservation Officer at the Treasury, said that a very small percentage of homes that are in this state go to foreclosure. Most are worked out anyway. So we're not talking about a big amount. we could use the inventory in the market, but it's not really going to make a dent. We're not going to see a flood of homes coming on the market if that happens anyway. So it won't really help that situation. And there's a low level of delinquency because unemployment is very low. Even the Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae economists are saying unemployment's low, which means that delinquency is low. So how many are we really talking about? Not that many. What's interesting is federal housing.
And there it is.
There you go.
First challenge of the day. Elizabeth Story has challenged Bryan Devore. She's licking her chops, all those points in the pot right now, Bryan. Elizabeth, you have 30 seconds.
I have to disagree that the delinquency rate isn't low because my first point reading the article was that 41% of the HAMP modifications became delinquent again, which is a failing percentage, and over 210,000 people delinquent again within the period. So to me, that's a really high delinquency rate at 41%.
Mr. Devore, you have 30 seconds to rebut.
Well, all I can say is what the Chief Home Ownership Preservation Officer of the Treasury, he kind of knows what he's talking about.
I'm talking about within the program. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, but I'm just talking specifically what he said about their, in general, delinquencies within their department. And Treasury is responsible for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
And what did he say?
He said that only a small percentage currently go to foreclosure because something is usually worked out.
But that's foreclosure. There's 41% delinquency rate on the HAMP modifications, which is 210,000 homeowners. Almost half.
She got you.
Did I say the delinquency? Well, I meant that foreclosures.
Sorry, I don't know.
Well, the point I was making was the fact that because unemployment is so low, the economists at Fannie and Freddie are saying because employment is so low, delinquency rates should be easing. As more and more people are getting jobs and keeping jobs, the delinquency rate should be going down. Now, I saw the same stat you did as far as 42%, but that's, again, certain criteria. Not all of them. It has to, those were...
I think you were challenging what he said at the very end. When he said we're not talking about that many people here. Mm-hmm. Is that what you were challenging?
Yeah.
And you're saying we are talking about a lot of people here.
But if we look
I'm talking about the program, because that's what we're debating, the program, whether or not it should go away.
Right.
Yeah, she got you. She got you. I got to give it to her.
All right.
It's good
then
challenge.
I'm going to stop talking.
I'm sorry.
It's a good challenge, and guess whose turn it is now?
I'm sorry, I almost
Elizabeth,
didn't throw the flag.
Do you agree or disagree with the statement the government should stop these types of bailouts and let the chips fall where they may? Otherwise, they are setting a precedent that could really burn the real estate market in the future.
I disagree with qualifications. There are two types of people. There are people who had a true bona fide hardship, and there's those people who bought that they couldn't afford. And like I said, 41% of the program is already not successful, so I feel like it's a really good case for the fact that you are delaying the inevitable. For example, in California, you have state-level programs called Keep Your Home California, and if anyone's struggling or unemployed, please look up Keep Your Home California. Stop everything you're doing, look it up right now. Anyone who's eligible to receive unemployment in the state of California is eligible for Keep Your Home California. They will pay your mortgage payment on top of you getting your unemployment income. That will help you while you're still looking for a job, and then you don't have to modify, because modifications, they're not free either. You're delaying the interest, you're delaying the payment. Keep Your Home California is a program with no ramifications to you, and it's not going to cost you more in the long run. So I think that there should be more programs for people who have true hardships outside of a modification, so that we don't have to keep redoing these modifications over and over again and see a 41% delinquency rate. And one more point.
Okay.
HAFA guidelines have changed. So if you are somebody who really can't afford it and you don't have a true hardship, HAFA now offers $10,000 in seller incentives for a short sale. I have a 100% short sale success rate. So if you need to do a short sale, give me a call. I'll do everything I can to get you $10,000 and get you a new place to live.
Well done.
Yeah, that was good.
Very good answer. Anyone want to say anything additional on this topic to what Elizabeth just said?
She's getting any points I make, so I'm
She just got the ones you'd made up until now.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it's from the... Oh, okay.
No, your points that were in the pot she got.
Got it.
Yeah.
But we can add... Well, I'd like to add to the discussion.
Yes.
Please. We're strangely have a couple minutes, so go ahead.
What's interesting, there was another article that was in DS News that talked about that the people who are in charge of the conservatorship for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are forcing Freddie to sell $1 billion worth of non-performing loans. And now I asked Amanda, how many loans are we talking about if you look at the average dollar amount per loan? And San Diego is higher. San Diego was in the 3s. Nationally, it's $202,000 roughly dollars is the loan amount. We're talking about almost 5,000 loans are being sold off. And what's interesting is about a third of them are in New York, which I thought was really interesting. The rest are spread out. So I think that Fannie and Freddie are being told, hey, your worst performing loans, we want to get rid of them. So again, that begs the question, how many are we really talking about that are going to be having to get their modification?
Well, I mean, to Robert's point earlier, if one person's going through this, it's tough.
Right.
So they all kind of matter in that regard. Well, so a lot could be in one person's mind could be 5 people.
This is why I disagree.
My
my final point I was going to make was, if that's all true, we're not talking about a million loans, why not offer it? I mean, what harm is it doing, really? We're not talking about a big bailout like AIG. We're talking about some homeowners.
Well, the topic was setting the precedent. See, so this is
set, though.
No, but this is the first time we've been through something like this, and the precedent that's being set is that it'll be okay. We'll take care of it.
But that was 5 years ago.
We'll figure it out for you. Just hang on. We'll figure it out. We'll give you things. That's the point of the statement is, hey, are we setting a precedent for the next downturn where everyone will be like, let's sit back and the government will take care of this for us, or whatever, or you know what I mean? That was what we were trying to discuss today. Is this a problem for the future because of these things? Right now, it seems like the right thing to do, and I actually agree that it is the right thing to do. If people have stuck it out this long, let's do what we can to try to help make sure that they can make it all the way through, because they've had plenty of times to jump ship and haven't. So I think it's a different set of people we have right now, but this is a different circumstance than it was 5 years ago.
And it's the first wave.
And just in an up-moving market, too, that might help solve a lot of the situations.
The market may solve itself. All right, coming up. Hot or not so hot? Let's find out where the hot areas are around San Diego, or the not so hot areas. When we come back, we'll make you smarter than everyone else. It's guaranteed. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
Get funky in here. That's what happens. Right before it's time for Hot or Not So Hot, which is what time it is right now, let's check in with our judge today. Amanda Silber is here from Movement Mortgage and LoansByAmanda.com. She's judging today's action. And Amanda, this last segment was a big one, I imagine, as far as scores are concerned.
It was definitely a big one. We just completely reversed who was winning and who's losing.
All right, tell us what's up.
All right, so we've got Elizabeth with 19 points. We got Robert right behind her with 11. We've got Bryan with 8 because he lost his challenge point.
Wow. Ouch. Holy smokes. I've never seen a turnaround like that before in the history of this show. So Devore must have had a lot of points going.
He had about 5 that she stole. But then she made a lot of really good points after that, too.
She did.
She kind of crushed it.
She crushed it last segment. Well, that just shows you what can happen in a segment on the Real Estate Debate. It's now time for Hot or Not So Hot.
Time now for Hot or Not So Hot.
So hot right now.
Let's find out if your neighborhood is heating up.
It's hot.
Or if your district is on the decline.
I am completely miserable, San Diego.
You got this round, buddy.
I love that so much. Shout out to Bobby Woolridge, who makes those for us, for doing an awesome job. And a quick shout out as well to our producer, Eric. It's his last day with us today. It's his last show with us. He's moving on up to, the bigger and badder afternoon weekday shows. So we have to send him off today properly. I will give you a chance for last words, Eric. Don't worry. So I know there's something you're dying to say somewhere in there. We're starting Hot or Not So Hot off with Mr. Devore. Mr. Devore, tell us about a hot market or a not so hot market here in San Diego.
All right. So in all the times you've done Hot or Not So Hot, you have not had anyone do a not so hot.
That's true.
And I feel that it's my job as a realtor to present to my clients options, areas that are hot, but maybe also areas that are not so hot, so they can make an educated decision. So for the first time ever, I am presenting a not so hot market.
All right.
Drum roll, please.
I like it.
It's the 92069 zip code of San Marcos.
You think it's not so hot?
I think it's not so hot. And
interesting.
As soon as I thought of doing a not so hot, the first thing I thought of was I need to come up with some reasons why. The first thing I thought of was empirically, what am I seeing out there? And I saw the 92069 zip code. didn't see a lot of activity. So I wanted to see what backed that up. So I looked throughout North County, mostly the coastal areas, but inland as well. So I looked at all the sales for Carlsbad, San Marcos, Vista, Oceanside, and Encinitas over the last several weeks. And in those areas combined, there were 157 closed sales with an average of 11 per zip code and days on market of 35, average sales price per square foot of $332. But in the 92069 zip code, only 6 sales. So half as many as the average for the other zip codes. Days on market, 40. And then average price per square foot, $246. Now, we all know as realtors that those numbers can be skewed by a really expensive home or a cheaper home. But I think if you look at the trends, they sort of backed up what I was seeing on the street. The other thing I looked at is our friend the Altos Research Report, which we look at to see, how is the market. It's a buyer's market or seller's market. And in the 92069 zip code, we're seeing median list prices are flat, but average asking price per square foot is down, which usually indicates price decreases.
Yep.
And that's what we're seeing out there. The reasons why that area isn't so hot, I think there's a few of them. One, there's a lot of older homes and condo conversion projects which aren't as appealing to a lot of people. A lot of the infrastructure that the city of San Marcos is spending money on is mostly focused on the 92078 zip code, not the 92069 zip code. The schools aren't as highly rated in that zip code as they are in 92078, which is South San Marcos. And the 92069 zip code is further away from the business communities than the 92078 zip code. So we're seeing a lot of activity in the South San Marcos area. It's kind of leaving 92069 behind. And I think that home buyers need to really think about that when they are looking to make purchase decisions. The prices may be a little bit lower, but there may be a good reason why.
Wow, that's a bonus points for being the first person to ever do a Not So Hot on the show and to bring up some legitimate points about it. And that's really kind of your backyard over there. I mean, you've always been a champion of San Marcos, so I know you're coming correct here by telling us, hey, listen, it's getting quiet in this area, and that's an area where a lot of first-time buyers look. So great information from Bryan Devore from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties, and the Devores.com. Elizabeth Story, it is now your turn for Hot or Not So Hot.
Well, I want to correct you both because I have talked about not hot areas a couple of times on the show, happening to be Del Mar, which I'm going to talk about again. So I just wanted to set the record straight that I have given it honest a couple of times and talked about not hot. So I want to talk about Del Mar right now. Del Mar's average purchase price in March of 2011 is the same as it is in March of 2015, when every other area around the county, most every other area around the county has seen some appreciation other than 92069. But what's really staggering is the number of sales versus the number of active listings. There are 11 sales for March of 2015 in Del Mar, and there are 181 active listings. That is almost 17 months worth of inventory in a county that usually doesn't have even 6 months of inventory. Wow. So Del Mar, people are starting to leave Del Mar because they're realizing they just can't get the bang for their buck, and it's really hurting a lot of sellers. You're seeing a lot of properties sit on the market, especially if they're not in a good, they're on a busy street, they're not selling, and you're seeing price drop after price drop. Now, an area that is very hot is Carmel Valley. It's actually my very favorite area to work. If you're looking to buy or sell in Carmel Valley, please give me a call. I love the area. I'll tell you why I love it. It has new construction. There's actually 4 new construction communities. I do work them. They're great. They've got green technology. They're really well thought out communities. They build in all the things that you could really need for your home. They're expanding their shopping centers. They're redoing shopping centers. They're bringing in new shopping centers. They have great schools. You're close to Del Mar. You're close to Rancho Santa Fe. You're close to a lot of things because you're in a very well-connected area. It's easy to get to the freeways. You usually get a little bit more space than, for example, you would in Del Mar. And it's also still a relatively newer community. 10, 15 years ago, there really wasn't much to Carmel Valley, but Carmel Valley keeps continuing to grow. And when they're growing, they're doing it well. They're thinking about it well. They've got parks, shopping centers, so I like Carmel Valley.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it sounds to me like Del Mar is not just not so hot; it's ice cold.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what has happened in Del Mar because I live there is that it's become very trafficky. Del Mar Heights Road, where these $2 million houses sit with great ocean views, I mean, it's like a highway off your driveway. And so those houses have become, I would never buy a house on Del Mar Heights Road. And then the 101, same thing. That's become a real log jam to, it used to be kind of an easy way out and easy way in if there's traffic. That's changed.
You can get a lot more bang for your buck elsewhere.
Carmel Valley, for sure, no question. Great points, Elizabeth, again. Robert Cromer, tell us about your hot market or not so hot market.
I think I'm going to go with my zip code where I live. So Chula Vista, 91913. And the reason I like this market is it has gone up 11% year to date compared to 9% for all of San Diego County. San Diego County, the average price or the median home price is $649, where Chula Vista 91913, the average price is about $508,000, so roughly $500,000 you can get a nice home. The schools are excellent. So most of the schools in 91913, probably 9 out of 10 are going to be a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.com. So it's probably a thing that's not known throughout all of San Diego County. So you can get a lot of bang for your buck. And the average days on the market is only 33 days. So it is definitely a seller's market. And because I do a lot of listings down there, my last two sold within 8 days, had multiple offers for both of them. I've got another house that's not in Chula Vista, but it's Bonita. It's the same kind of market there. But the other great thing about 91913 is that they're getting ready to do 3,000 homes over the next 20 years just at the Millennia Project. But besides that, you're looking at between 20 and 30,000 that are on the books just for that area. So you're going to see a huge growth area that's going to take place and tons of infrastructure. The thing that I think Chula Vista's got the bad rap about for in the past was that they didn't have all the shops, they didn't have all the entertainment, but that's all built in. So you're going to see that happening. They've already broken ground on the Millennia Project. You'll see that happen in the next 6 months. But it's going to be huge. And because of those changes that are going to be taking place, you're also going to see prices continue to grow. So
okay. So you think that influx of inventory will actually bring prices up because they're going to build stuff that's more expensive, basically?
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense to me. All right. Great stuff from all of our in-studio guests. Man, what a great show so far. I can't wait to hear what the scores are coming up. It's time for the win. We're going to do our listings of the week and crown a new champion right here in the real estate debate. We'll continue to make you smarter than everyone else. It's all guaranteed. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
I expect nothing less on your last day, sir. It went from funky to a dance party in the 1990s, all in the matter of one segment. Great stuff. Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here, your host. We have a very intense debate going on right now. Amanda Silber is our host from Movement Mortgage and LoansByAmanda.com. Amanda, let's check in with you to get the scores before we do the final round of the debate.
All right. We've got Elizabeth with 25 points. We've got Bryan with 18 right behind her, and we've got Robert with 16.
Okay, so Elizabeth has a commanding lead here with 25 points. Robert Cromer has 16 points. Bryan Devore has 18 points. In the final segment, we're scoring a 10-point must system, so 10 points have to be given out total, and they can go anywhere. So basically, it's still anyone can win, according to that. So we're going to be starting with Robert Cromer since he's trailing right now, and we're going to do listing of the week.
Time now for the listing of the week.
Oh my God, look at this, you guys. I'm going to start the bidding for this $8 billion.
Here's your chance to pitch us your most prized property.
Go ahead, make my day.
All right, Robert, it's time for us to hear about your listing of the week.
Okay, this property is in Bonita, and it is 910 Wrangler Court, and it's 2,434 square feet. It's priced between $600 and $689. The things that make this home unique is that it has a pool with solar. It's walking distance to Allen School Elementary, which is rated once again as a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.com. Excellent elementary school. Also goes to Bonita Middle School and Bonita High. Excellent schools as well. And it's, once again, 2434 square feet. It's got 5 bedrooms, 3 full baths. So it does have a full bedroom, full bath downstairs, which is important, especially if someone has a elderly person that can't get up or down the stairs. A lot of times you have multi-generation families living together today. Has a kitchen that's been remodeled in the last few years, so it has granite countertops, real open floor plan. Once again, an excellent buy for your money, and it just came on the market this past Wednesday. So the great thing about the house is it's going to show very well, and something that my wife and I do, which is funny. I got to tell a real quick story about this, but we a lot of times we'll go in and we'll do some light staging. And when I say that, it's like we don't take big furniture too much, but we've got a whole garage full of things that we've collected over the years, and then stuff we update on every house, or if we need to, we'll go buy stuff. And the clients were going to be out of town for a week, and little did we know that the husband was coming back 3 days early, and then he was going to leave again. So we went through, and they basically just gave us carte blanche to do anything we wanted to do to this house. So we brought everything in, and we thought that the first time they're going to see it is when we gave them the pictures. And so I see someone that's at their house because I was dropping off a sign, and I go over there last night, and it happens to be the husband is there, and I'm calling. I'm like, hey, I think there's someone in your house. And he's like, oh, I'm here. Come on in. And you can see this guy. He comes home, and his house has transformed completely from us staging it, and he just couldn't believe it. And he was so giddy because of how well it looked. So
that's cool.
If you get a chance, go on the internet, look at it, 910 Wrangler Court in Bonita, or you can go on to www.cromerhomes.com. Or call me at 619-851-0608. Beautiful property. I'd love for someone to buy it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. $600 to $689 is the price point for a 5-bed, 3-bath in the Bonita area. Pool with solar. That's always nice, and walking distance to elementary schools. A lot of people looking for that. You can find out more about this property or contact Robert Cromer from McMillan Realty at cromerhomes.com. All right, Mr. Devore, you are up. Let's hear about your listing of the week.
All right. Well, I picked one in my wheelhouse, which
Rancho
is
Creo?
a little bit, yeah. So the market in Carlsbad, specifically 92009, is pretty tight right now. And the townhome market especially. There's 47 homes on the market, townhomes, 40 in escrow. So obviously It's a very hot market right now. I have an opportunity for your listeners to get something that's priced below market. This is a tri-level townhome in a super quiet complex of Rancho Creo, which I'll talk about in a moment. What's unique about this property is there are 2 master suites on the top floor. So it's great for a couple and then their older child, or 2 children, or it's great as a rental because you could have 2 separate rental situations, with 2 different roommates. But there's also in the second floor a full bedroom with a full bath. So lots of options for people. And the bottom floor has a den, which is great as an office. So very flexible floor plan, 1,292 very usable square feet. It's very well upgraded with a gorgeous kitchen with granite countertops and stainless steel appliances, near new paint, wood floors, and again, all in beautiful Rancho Creo, which some of your listeners may know from one of your extra credit segments.
Yep.
If they go on therealestatedebate.com, it's the second video, the hottest spot in the Carlsbad real estate market, Rancho Creo. The average asking price for the townhomes that are on the market right now is $485,000. This home is very well priced at $426,000.
Wow.
And price per square foot is lower than the average as well. There's a special for your listeners who are listening right now to the show. First of all, they can leave as soon as they're done listening to the show. They can hop on over because we are having an open house today.
Okay.
They can come to the open house. It's from 1 to 4. And I will give them the address in a second. But if they contact me directly saying they saw the house because they listened to your show, then I'll give them a credit they can use towards their closing costs when they get their loan with Amanda.
Okay. Awesome.
And the address is 6290 Via Trato, Trato, and it's Via, V-I-A, not V-I-L-L-A. And they can also see it on our website at www.thedevores.com. Under our featured properties, they can call me directly at 760-908-3838.
Okay. Wow. Sounds like an awesome listing over there. Okay. I see a challenge flag. Robert Cromer's getting in the mix. What's he challenging?
I'm going to challenge his price.
Okay.
So I guess what I don't understand is why anyone would ever underprice a house when you're supposed to be basically selling it for the most you can for their seller.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to actually put a spin on this. So he's going to say, well, I'm going to get multiple offers, but I'm going to, with the pricing at the 426. But I think that he could get even more offers and push it even higher with the range pricing. So he needs a price at between 400 to 450 and bring in everybody and their brother that's going to put in an offer and push that all the way up, get the most qualified buyer, and have them match it. Or you just price it at $499. Because here's what happens, is if someone's going out looking for houses in the, just price it at not $499, at $450 or $449. But if I go to a buyer and a buyer says to me, hey, I'm looking to buy a house, what happens a lot of times is they don't go to Amanda and get pre-qualified ahead of time. So they're meeting you at an open house and they're asking, okay, you ask them, what are you looking for? And they're going, we're looking at a house at 350, 400, 450, 500. It's just the way that people are conditioned through Realtor.com and all those ones that set up those parameters. So by doing a range system here, he's going to bring in all those 400s. And everybody that's been looking at 400 down is going to go, this is the beautiful house. And you're going to have the wife hitting the husband going, honey, I don't care if it's an extra $200, $300 a month. We're going to go up. We want to put an offer on this house. Okay. And it's going to push prices up.
All right. Mr. Devore, you have 30 seconds to rebut.
All right. So the average for the actives is $485,000 of all the townhomes in 92009. The way I priced the home was based on the comparable properties in that complex. And as it happens, those prices are between $410 and $450. So we priced it right in the middle of what the comps are. In fact, there's a pending sale right now of the same model in the same complex that's listed for $420. So we're actually priced a little bit above the model match that's in escrow right now. So I understand your point about it being so much less than the average, but we specifically priced it based upon the comps that are in there, and we used a fixed price because that's just the approach we wanted to take with this listing.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to... No flags are going to exchange hands. I think that's two really good pieces of information. I like the idea of using a value range in some instances, and we don't know all of the details of the circumstance, but I like where you were going with that, Robert, so I don't want you to lose a flag over that. All right, Elizabeth, it's time for your listing of the week.
I'll go fast. Everyone's really lucky because it hasn't actually hit the market yet, so you can get an ahead on the interest list. It's on Cove Drive in Carlsbad. It is like a dream. It comes with its own private boat dock, and it has a pool and spa that is next to the boat dock, so you can watch boats go by. They do holiday events in July, and during Christmas they have boat parades. It's literally steps from the lagoon. It's only a walk to the ocean. It's got a tennis court nearby. It's a 1-bed, 2-bath that can easily be used as a vacation rental when it's not in use and also generate you some income. It also has a lot of living area downstairs, so it sleeps a whole lot more than just a 1-bedroom. If you register ahead of time for the open house that we're having next week, I'll give you a $100 closing credit. If you're already pre-approved when you register, I'll give you another $100 closing credit. If you're not pre-approved and you do register and you get pre-approved with Movement Mortgage and Amanda, we'll give you another $100 closing credit. And if you write an offer during the first week, we'll throw in a stand-up paddleboard, a consultation with an interior designer, and another $100 closing credit. Contact me at storyestates.com. Email me at info@storyestates.com. Call or text 619-742-3979. Let's get you on that interest list. And oh, by the way, at the open house, we'll have refreshments and music.
Wow. So this is, what's the price of this property?
Oh, that's under $400.
Wow.
Yeah, for your own boat dock. Income property.
Sub 400, I will be there.
Come on down.
That's a great deal. If it's anywhere near water and it's under 400 in San Diego County, count me in. Okay, great stuff. All right, I'm going to give Amanda Silber, our judge today with Movement Mortgage and LoansByAmanda.com, a little bit of time here to do some math while she adds up the final scores. I want to thank our contestants today, Elizabeth Story with StoryEstates.com. Thank you so much for being here, Elizabeth. You were great today. Robert Cromer with Wickmillan Realty and CromerHomes.com. Robert, thank you so much for being here. It was great to have you. And Bryan Devore from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties, and thedevores.com. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
My pleasure, as always.
All right, Amanda, give us the news.
The winner is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth's story.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, there it is, Elizabeth's story. Now 5-time champion on the real estate debate. Thank you to all of our contestants and, of course, our judge today, Amanda Silber. You had a tough job. Really appreciate all the work you did today. Stick around for Talking Money with Mr. C right here on AM 760 KFMB, where we continue to make you smarter than everyone else.